Mayor, based on the conversations tonight and the fact that we just received this large packet, which it's going to take some time to look through, I'd like to make a motion that we postpone this until our July 28th meeting so the council can get an opportunity to look at the package presented by Mr. Auld and perhaps do a little bit more. This has become a little bit more complex than it originally appeared on the surface.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion by Councilman Witt, seconded by Councilman Emmanuel. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of postponement signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The matter is postponed until July 28th. Appreciate everyone coming out on this issue. It will be back on our agenda on July 28th. That brings us to item number B, first reading on CUP 14-04. Do I have a motion to waive the first reading?
Motion to waive the first reading, CUP 14-04.
I'm sorry, motion to waive and place it on our July 28th calendar agenda?
That's correct.
Is there a second to that motion? Second by Councilman Kraus. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item C, third meeting to provide citizens the opportunity to submit written and oral comments on the proposed 2014 millage rate. As I said previously in the first two meetings, our fiscal year here in the city of Snellville runs July 1st to June 30th, and so we passed our fiscal year 2015 budget at our last regular scheduled meeting. Since that time, you all have received in the mail your tax appraisals, and tax values or land values here in the city of Snellville have increased. When we passed our budget, we anticipated a millage rate of 4.9 mils. Based on the increased tax values, if we keep the millage rate at 4.9 mils, that will raise your property taxes for here in the city of Snellville. The rollback rate is approximately 4.512 mils. However, that will cause a shortage in our budget that we passed a few weeks ago. So later on tonight, we will be voting on a millage rate for the city of Snellville, but this is the time for public to comment on what they believe that millage rate should be. So if anyone would like to speak as to the millage rate, please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Kurt Schultz, 2027 Tanglewood Drive. We don't want to go backwards in the city. Please meet your budget that was approved and adjust the millage rate accordingly. Thank you.
Mr. Schultz, I'm sorry, did you provide your address?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Any other public comment? Seeing none, I will close that agenda item and we'll move to item D. Second read, consideration action on an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Snellville to remove, delete, and repeal code sections that are contrary to the express provisions of the Charter of the City of Snellville, Georgia, to clarify the method of appointment and term of office of the City Clerk, the method of appointment and term of office of the City Manager, and the method of appointment and term of office of the City Attorney. To delete sections 2-191, 2-201, 2-202, 2-205, 2-225, and 2-227 to conform the code to comply fully with the Home Rule amendments of Home Rule Ordinance 2010-05 and Home Rule Ordinance 2013-04, and to repeal conflicting ordinances. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the amendments to the code as just read into the record.
There is a motion by Councilman Bender. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Manuel. Additional discussion by council. This is the ordinance that was the topic of the special called meeting back on June 26. Essentially, it removes the term of office for the city clerk, the city manager, and the city attorney. It also removes some of the duties of the position of city clerk. Under our ordinances, currently the city clerk is also the city treasurer of the city of Snellville, and these would remove all of the financial duties, the city treasurer duties, from the position of city clerk. It also says that it will provide the code to conform with Home Rule Ordinance 2013-04. That's a home rule ordinance that was passed by this council, an attempt to amend the charter by this council without going through the General Assembly. That possibly changed the authority or duties of the mayor and is an issue that is still pending in the courts currently. So you can't conform something that was improperly passed in the first place. So obviously, as I said at the last special called meeting, I will not support this ordinance tonight. And with that, this is on for a public hearing, so I need to take public comment. If anyone would like to speak for or against this ordinance, come forward and state your name and address for the record. Seeing no public comment, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the ordinance signify by raising your right hand. That's 5 in favor. All those opposed, 1 opposed. The ordinance stands approved. Brings us to new business. Under new business, we have Resolution 2014-03, whereas Georgia law and the City Code of Ordinances require the city to adopt a balanced budget for its operations, whereas through public hearings, the city staff, mayor, and city council have drafted such a budget to comply with the requirements of state law, whereas the adoption of that budget required the passage of a millage rate sufficient to allow for the collection of taxes necessary to cover the cost of operating the city government according to the budget. Whereas the mayor and council find it necessary and desirable to establish certain millage rates for properties in Gwinnett County in fairness to the taxpayers of the city and in compliance with state law. Whereas the tax rate of, and is it the council's anticipation is set at 4.62 mils, Councilman Witz?
Yes, that's the thing.
Whereas the tax rate of 4.62 per $1,000 of assessed valuation for the city of Snellville taxpayers in Gwinnett County is required for the raising of sufficient revenues to support municipal operations and meeting the requirements of state law for establishing rates. Whereas notices required by law have been published in the legal organ of the city of Snellville. Whereas the city has conducted public hearings to receive comments from citizens on the proposed budget and rates. Now therefore, the council of the city of Snellville hereby ordains and resolves that the millage rate of 4.62 per $1,000 of assessed valuation for the city of Snellville taxpayers in Gwinnett County enumerated above is approved and ordained for the fiscal year 2014-2015. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2014-13?
Motion to approve resolution 2014-13 as read.
There is a motion by Councilman Emanuel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. All those in favor of passage of the resolution signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed. The resolution stands approved. The millage rate for this fiscal year will be at 4.62 mils. That brings us to item number B, consideration action on approval of the City of Snellville Town Green non-governmental use policy. Do I have a motion to approve the Town Green non-governmental use policy?
So moved.
Oh, I'm sorry, don't. I'm sorry, there's a motion by Councilman Witz to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
And second by Councilman Emanuel, point of clarification. This is for approval for the Town Green non-governmental use policy we discussed in the work session so that agencies other than the City of Snellville and STAT can use the Town Green. In the work session, we discussed setting a nonprofit rate of $150. Is that part of your motion?
Yes, it
Is that part of your second? Okay. Any further discussion by council? And for clarification, this will allow people to come in and make an application to our city to use the Town Green. There will be a set fee of $250 plus a non-refundable deposit, a refundable deposit of $250. For nonprofits, it will be a $150 fee with a deposit of $250. There will be some other requirements such as garbage and provisions for porta potties and things like that that you'll have to comply with as well. But this will make sure we have a written policy for people that come in and want to use the town green in the future. All those in favor of approval of the town green non-governmental use policy signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, that's 0 opposed. The policy stands approved. Item C, Mayor's nomination and Council's confirmation of the following board appointments. I nominate Simon Cole to post 4 of the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. All those in favor of the nomination signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The nomination stands approved. I nominate Don Goldsmith to post 1 of the Downtown Development Authority and Nelson Williams to post 2 of the Downtown Development Authority. All those in favor of the nomination signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The nomination stands approved. Snellville Arts Commission, I nominate Elisa Boykin and Jean Baldwin to serve on the Snellville Arts Commission. All those in favor of the nomination signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The nominations stand approved. Item D and item E have been withdrawn by the applicant, so there'll be no actions taken. Excuse me. That brings us to item F. Consideration action on intergovernmental agreement between Gwinnett County and the City of Snellville regarding jointly funded 2014 SPLOS projects. With the SPLOS that just passed in November 2013 that went in effect in 2014, we will be doing joint projects with the county. We'll be putting sidewalks down Oak Road and sidewalks down a portion of Highway 78 till Rockdale Circle, and also improvements at Fars Road. And so this is to approve an intergovernmental agreement between us and the county so we can begin work on these projects. Do I have a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the intergovernmental agreement?
So moved.
There's a motion by Councilman Witz. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item G, consideration action on proposal from Clark, Patterson, and Lee for design and engineering work on the 2 SPLOS-related sidewalk projects. This is a proposal from Clark, Patterson, and Lee for $124,470 to begin engineering and design work for these projects. Do I have a motion to approve the proposal?
Motion to approve proposal.
Not to exceed the $124,470.
Not to exceed $124,470.
There's a motion by Councilman Emmanuel. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Kraus. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. With that, I want to thank our county commissioners and also former Mayor Oberholzer for working on those projects and bringing them here to our city. Item H, consideration action on Gwinnett County Department of Transportation Maintenance and Indemnity Agreement regarding the LCI. As Mr. Sanders told you, we're ready to move forward on our LCI project, but we have to first get this agreement with the county. Do I have a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the agreement?
Motion to authorize mayor to execute the agreement.
There is a motion by Councilman Emmanuel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Kraus. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item I, consideration action on approval and authorization to purchase 2 Dodge Durango SUVs fully equipped with emergency equipment and cameras for patrol. This was something that we budgeted for in our fiscal year 2015 budget for the police department. They will cost for both of them will be $74,956. These will be state contracts. Do I have a motion to approve this purchase?
Motion to approve the purchase of 2 Dodge Durango SUVs fully equipped with emergency equipment and cameras for patrol.
Not to exceed the
Not to exceed $74,956.
There is a motion by Councilman Howard. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emmanuel. All those in favor of the motion as stated signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item J, consideration action on approval and authorization to purchase 2 Chevrolet Impalas with emergency equipment for Investigations Division. Again, this is a state contract for the police department, something that was previously budgeted for the amount of $43,918.46. Together with items I and J, the chief and the police department will actually be saving us money. This will come in under budget. Do I have a motion to approve this purchase?
Motion to approve the authorization to purchase 2 Chevrolet Impalas with emergency equipment for Investigations Division, not to exceed $43,918.46.
There's a motion by Councilman Howard. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emmanuel. All those in favor of the motion as stated signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Congratulations, Chief. You have yourself some vehicles. Item K, consideration action on approval and authorization for a dump truck not to exceed $52,704. Again, this was budgeted for the Public Works Department in the fiscal year 2015. Do I have a motion to approve this purchase?
Motion to approve the authorization to purchase a Ford F-550 cab and chassis truck not to exceed $52,704.
There's a motion by Councilman Kraus. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emmanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, that's 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. That brings us now to our council reports. Councilman Witz.
We had a great 4th of July. Thank you, Stat. We did a great job. Got there, Kelly. It was a great time. I think someone said we had 26,000 people. I'd say we probably had 18 to 20,000. You couldn't move very well around town here. And if you've seen some of the pictures on Facebook, it's amazing to see how the crowd was. The only other thing I'd like to speak to is the documentary that's been put out by Mr. Steve Darrell, who was a resident of Snellville who wanted to contribute something to the Snellville Memorial and did a documentary. And for those of you who haven't seen it, you really need to see it. It's an amazing tribute. It's a gift to the city that I believe 100 years from now will pay off more than it does even now. And even now, it's very emotional. It talks a lot about veterans. You have a gentleman from Snellville, 93 years old, who was a World War II POW, marched 860 miles in 86 days. His story's on there. It's just very, very moving. I hope you all get a chance to see it. Well, I'll keep on, if you watch the Snellville Memorial Facebook page or my personal Facebook page, we'll keep telling you when we're going to show it. We're showing it at 7:30 in the morning at the Rotary Club, if any of you want to get up that early. Unfortunately, I'll have to get up that early. But it'll be played, so I hope you do that. And again, I'd like to thank Mr. Peterson, all the people that helped us with donations and work. We are about got it paid off. We're within thousands. We're within thousands. And when I say thousands, we're under 5,000. Think of actually having everything that you see out there paid off. That was a monumental task, and it could not be done without the community, without all the people and the organizations that chipped in to make it happen. I'm forever indebted to you all for that. Thank you.
This past Saturday night, there was an event called Light Up Gwinnett up at the Gwinnett County Fairgrounds. Of course, Rollins Security was there, trying to get new members for her Neighborhood Watch program. Interesting event, supposedly an annual event. You might look for it next year. We had representation by Snellville Police Department. We had some canines up there doing demonstrations. The cop cab was there, and we had our stage there. So the people could use the stage for their presentations. So it was a small event, but I thought it was interesting and has a lot of potential. Beyond that, I'd like to thank Mr. Sanders for all his work on the 10-year agony known as the LCI project. It's finally underway, and I think it'll move along pretty quickly. I'd also like to extend my thanks to Commissioner Tommy Hunter for all the help he's given the city in getting some of these SPLOST projects done. He's been a valuable asset to the city. Everybody drive safely on the way home. Snellville PD is going to be on the job, so you don't want to get caught. And have a good night.
How y'all doing? Y'all still with us out there? All right, Miss Erica, whenever you're ready. Dave had me in charge of pictures tonight, so we're back on pictures. So anyway, as Mr. Councilman Emanuel alluded to, the Light Up Gwinnett event, I don't know, I've never quite been in an area where you had 100 or so police, public safety vehicles, all with their sirens on at the same time. Oh my God. I'm surprised y'all didn't hear it here. But it was a wonderful event. Wanda Johnson, which is the wife of the Chief Randy Johnson over in the Lawrenceville PD, kind of spearheaded this thing. We had some of our members, Marcy, Marilyn, y'all were on the committee. Trish, I think, was on there. If I missed somebody, I apologize. But the bottom line to the whole program is that Georgia has a law that says when you're approaching a traffic accident or somebody in the public safety sector that's got their emergency lights on, they're rendering aid on the side of the road, and Chief, jump in anytime I mess it up. I think I've got this one. Anytime you have the opportunity to move over to the left-hand side, is typically where you'll have it on the right-hand side. If you have the opportunity to move over and reduce your speed, you're certainly encouraged to. Now, that encouragement comes in the form of a very hefty fine if you don't. So, and if you don't have room, or if it's, just a 2-lane road, whatever, then you need to slow down to a very controlled speed so that you can get through that area safely. If we've had one public safety person killed or injured in the line of duty on the side of the road rendering aid, that's one too many. So it's a very serious thing, or you're going to see some more stuff to it. Most people haven't heard about it. That's the reality, and that was the need for the opportunity to have this function. So our public safety world in Gwinnett was well represented on Saturday night. It was just a nice event, and I was happy we could participate with that. And I'd hope to have it here tonight, but we're not. We're doing some other changes. We've had a couple of more sponsors come on board since we have introduced it, but our Snellville Cop Cab is getting rave reviews. Pictures are being made of it. People are talking about it, so it's doing exactly what it has to do. We've had it at a number of events already. We did have it at Light Up Gwinnett. We had it at the 4th of July festivities. We've had it at a couple of the markets, and we've had it actually at Wild Wing Cafe, which is one of our newest sponsors. Bill was very happy to do that for us and be a part of that effort. So next council meeting, 28th, we're going to have it here, so it's going to be out. We're going to have some brochures made. And I got to thank everybody that was involved in it, but I'll do that when we actually have the vehicle here. But Chief, your department, everybody has been very supportive of it. And as you can see, they all came out in the hot sun to let us do this promotional piece. So a lot of people are seeing it, a lot of people are taking notice, and a lot of people are remembering just use your head. So, okay. All right, and y'all wait for it. There it is. I'm going to do it on the screen this time. Shop plug, everybody spent some money in Snellville this past week? Come on. All right, good job. Thank y'all very much. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and to sit up here and serve the citizens. And y'all just drive safe going home.
That concludes the council reports. Now for the mayor's report. I want to thank the members of the STAT board and all of the volunteers that made the 4th of July celebration possible. It was a great event. Heard lots of great comments about it, so thank you all. Ms. Sims came in late. She was one of the essential members of the Flag Day Committee, and so she didn't hear me thank her. But Ms. Sims, thank you for all you did and for working with former Councilman Sabag and making that happen. And then just lastly, again, I want to thank and welcome Ms. Richardson. I know sometimes it seems challenging, but we are glad you're here, and thank you for being here. With that, I will conclude my mayor's report and open it for public comment. Please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and please make sure you sign the sheet at the podium.
Knock it up. Tricia Rollins, 2088 Harbor Oaks Drive. I came before you about a month ago and was concerns about the children's port at Harbor Oaks and 124, and I thought it would be on the work agenda this time, but we're still concerned about it, and if we could get it placed on the next one. It's pretty concerning to us that a child would be in a car, so I understand with all that was on the agenda tonight that it got pushed aside, but we are still concerned about it. Also, I'd like to thank the police department and the city of Snellville for participating in the Light Up Gwinnett. It was a terrific event, and Snellville really shined, and so thank you.
Additional public comment? Seeing none, the time is, my phone died, what's that, 8:56, 8:55, and we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Have a safe trip home.